if you notice, the richest people, what they do is they let money work for it. You can prepare money, you can attract money. If I know you can do something and I have the money, right, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to learn how to do it. That means I can go to Bahamas, I can go to Fiji if I want to. Because I have time. Relevant. In the economy that you are, or in the social setting that you are, no one is gonna come to you for anything.
Okay, hi guys, welcome to Grow Money, Grow Business. This is the time that we have been waiting for such a long time. So I'm now here, guys. I know you've been sending messages. When are you going to start? Now we are now starting the thing. All right, so as you know that I am Ngoni Zimbabwe. I'm the one hosting this podcast. And today I have the tech guru, aka the tech guru. Today I have I'm with Sean. So, Sean, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Hi guys. So I go by the name Sean. Right. For my surname is Churu.
Okay, Churu.
Churu.
Yes.
So my life in general, I'm currently pursuing medicine at the University of Zimbabwe.
Oh, you're doing medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also I'm in part-time doing things in relation to business.
Okay.
So
I'm
currently the CTO at a tech startup, which was founded 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
In Harare. It's called Aura Systems. So that's encompassing my whole life in general.
Okay.
The academics and my work life.
Oh, you said you are the CTO.
Yeah.
Okay, CTO it means.
So CTO is generally an executive position. Okay. So as a director, you are referred to as the chief technological officer, the same way you have the chief executive officer. They're just positions which divert from basically having the head CEO, and you can have CTOs. So you have other various positions as chiefs. Amazing.
So basically, like, what is the company like? What's the what can I say? The purpose of the company or the vision of the company? Like you said, this company has been started 3 years ago, right? So like what are you involved in? What are you doing like within the company?
So to elaborate on that, basically at Aurora Systems, we are a tech startup company which looks to be involved in making software systems for private clients and also both for the public sectors. So we are highly involved in making these systems, collaborating with other tech entrepreneurship companies. We are highly involved in various commercialized digital advertises, like making websites.
You've been making websites,
building portfolios for individuals. So we vary, but we are at most in the digital space.
Sort of like digital marketing. Is it digital marketing?
You wouldn't necessarily call it digital marketing side. So isn't that the expense of just making sure that if you have something that you are doing, let's say a business, you get digital. We provide kind of like the foundation. So the foundation can be, and maybe you want a website, or maybe you want a portfolio for your own career. So we can make you go online. We can make you go public. But on the technological space, on the internet, on the digital space. So that can be achieved through building of websites, web apps, portfolios, digital portfolios. Nowadays people are using digital portfolios because of the huge manifestations you can get and the extraction of the amount of information you can qualify there. Especially in digital audio formats. And it's now separate from just having your own CV. But having a portfolio of your own allows you to be more expansive, especially with how you showcase your skills or your ideas or anything that correlates to what you do.
So which means if let me say I have a business of selling madomasi, so I can come.
you can come.
Or you say we focus on these kind of people, like now maybe you'll be looking at the level of the business before you maybe create the software, or you just say, is it open to everyone?
Okay, so kind of the overlay for making your website. The first thing is, if you are also involved in a business, you have to have a target market, right?
All right.
So it's in the expense of now making a research on what your target market actually is. Maybe if you are doing vendoring, you wouldn't really need much of a website.
All right.
Because your target market is usually those people who want local needs.
Okay, within the local.
Expensive.
Within the local.
All
right. Okay.
You aren't looking for yourself to be out there as like a big business, or maybe you're doing something which is expansive in nature. So just being a vendor doesn't. You can, but there's no need, because at the end of the day, you want your website to be able to showcase what you do and what you can offer.
All right.
So those are the other factors you would want to factor in when you are looking into making probably a website for your own business.
All right.
Are you looking to be expansive? Are you looking to get more clients? So those are the ideas and adventures that you have to also incorporate into that decision.
All right. No, I get it. So I believe that if you are to get into such a career, you also said that you're doing medicine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And you're also doing you're the OTC. All right. So
CTO.
The CTO. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. All right. So the CTO.
Yeah.
All right. So I understand that you need to be flexible with your time in a way for you to coordinate all these things. Is it? But before I go there to the time management, I would like to know, like, what made you to be interested to take this path of programming? Because there are so many things that are out there. You may have said that maybe I want to be like I want to be like Yamal. Exactly, a football star. You could be like Yamal, or maybe someone else. So what made you to say, you know what, I think I should go for programming. Actually, I think I should go for programming. Yeah.
So with regards to your question, particularly in reference to my interest in programming, I wouldn't say, like, from the get-go, I personally wanted to major into programming, especially from the young age.
Oh, sure.
So around the time when I started learning programming, I was around 13 years, 12 years. When I was now studying high school, actually.
Wait, 13 years?
13, 12, 13, 14.
13 years, that's grade 7. That's Form 1. That's what?
That's Form 1.
Form 1?
That's Form 1.
That's why you were introduced to programming?
That's when I was introduced into programming. So...
Wow.
Because if you look at other states, especially in other continents like Asia, America, you see these are minute skills. So
basic skills.
They consider them as basic skills.
Programming. Okay.
So what happens is, for those countries, they actually start to engage in those faculties at a tender age.
Oh, okay.
So you get to find out that probably, I can give an example.
Yeah.
For example, everyone knows Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yes.
But if you look at the age when he started programming, it was also at a tender age, like 13.
Really?
13, yeah, exactly.
And you also started 13?
I also started 13.
So you're our next Bill Gates in Zimbabwe?
Per se. But then also the case is, for the high school which I went to, they kind of wanted to introduce these skills. So we had architecture, we had programming per se, with computer engineering, with motor mechanics. Motor mechanics and some things like first aid.
Yeah.
Just to mention a few. So the idea was, if people could get expansive on these skills, at least you have a bystand, so that whenever your education fails or whenever you don't get to the upper echelons of what you want to achieve in life in terms of academics and education, you always have
something.
You have something there.
Yeah. I think that's also very important if you were to take it in an economy like Zimbabwe,
exactly.
Whereby at school we only learn about the theory aspect of things, and it takes a long time for you to get a degree, for you to be paid from your degree. You see what I'm talking about? So I believe that's very important. The point that you are bringing up, starting projects, while you're young. Practical project, not theoretical project, not the 1+2. I always wondered, like, why were we even learning about the locust? You'd hear the locust is 3 parts. You see, this was in Form 1 or something. Form 1, we are learning about photosynthesis. You're learning about locusts. Those are things that if you get into the actual world, they don't give you the skill.
Exactly.
They won't give you the skill that you can be paid for. So I believe that is very important, even to those that are listening. If you are 13 years old, if you are 14 years old, if you are 12 years old, even 7 years old, is the right time for you to make a serious commitment upon building practical, valuable skills. It's very important. Yeah.
Exactly, because if you're to mention that, you'd see that most people who make a fortune in life are those people who are very, very flexible. Especially with what they can do, what they have to offer is in an array. Because I know some people who are expansive in the business world. They're also expansive in the agricultural sector.
Yeah.
They're there. So this kind of expansive gives you a basic relevance. So you become relevant in terms of the society that you are in. Especially in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is not much of a scientific and technical world compared to America and the likes. So of course I'm not saying not learning about locusts or any of those things which are scientifically related or theoretically related and good, but we should at least understand that in Zimbabwe we are in a lower grade country. So the necessities which are required for the socio-economic status of the well-being of people in Zimbabwe, we are not yet there.
Definitely.
We
are not yet there.
So it becomes now fallible in a way that you learn these theoretical and scientific things, but you can't really apply them.
Yeah, you can't apply them
based on just your environment.
Yeah.
So we are still way back. The better thing is to now attain these skills which are beneficial to not only yourself but to the society around you.
The society.
That is what gives you value. For example, I mentioned programming. So for me, taking interest in programming was just in the matter of fact that I then later realized that in Zimbabwe we are not yet there in terms of the technological digital side viewpoint.
Okay, so then
we have many problems.
You said so you decided to focus on that one.
I decided to focus on that one. I think really at a tender age, that's when I really took account to okay, so I can get to this point in my life by following this venture. So amazing. I never had interest of doing medicine back at that moment in time. I dropped biology in Form 2.
Seriously?
I don't like reading. That was the case for me.
But now you're doing medicine.
Now I'm doing medicine, imagine.
So what happened? What convinced you to now take? Because I understand that medicine is totally demanding.
Oh, for sure.
And it is time consuming, and it requires your full attention. So as you were just talking, I was just trying to integrate the two, programming, medicine. Do you have a plan in your life where you're saying maybe I'm gonna integrate medicine into programming or programming into medicine, or I'm just gonna run them parallel?
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you proceed in life, you get more ideas, you learn. I wouldn't really say the set goal right now. I have, of course, plans to run them parallel, but then the thing is, when I look at these ventures, medicine here, programming here,
they're
interchangeable departments. Because the nice thing about technology is right now we are in the 4th industrial revolution, and the big thing is the internet.
The internet, very much.
The internet is the big thing.
Yeah,
everything that you know, especially in the
agricultural sector, everything is
digital.
The AI, it gives you everything.
The upcoming AI, it's so expansive. So just being in the technological sector, even in your own private life, gives you an edge over others who are not there, because you are so open. Right now, people spend 8 hours just on average. Not on the internet, but on the mobile phones.
Yeah.
You have Instagram, you have
the social media,
TikToks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So right now we're getting to a point whereby the normal way of advertising, which was using radios, televisions, is being cut out.
Yeah, very much.
And right now the normal advertising is the internet. So we're getting to an age whereby everything is becoming digital. Your cars are becoming digital. Your education is becoming digital. So it's not the basis of integration, but I just think as an overall point in view, technology as a whole can go into many sectors.
Yeah, it can touch a lot of things.
It can touch a lot, especially in the health sector.
Yeah.
You talk about matricas, you talk about the new techniques which are being utilized, especially in surgical procedures. They all rely on
programming or other.
Yeah, programming is a subset of it, but then just in general, the idea of technology being incorporated into these fields is manifest.
Oh, amazing!
Because right now we have robotics being utilized.
Yeah.
Surgical procedures.
So I think I was reading this article one time. I can't remember which day, but I discovered that they finished this something that was never done before. They used a robot to remove a tooth.
Imagine.
With no human intervention. I was like, what?
Imagine.
So which means are doctors going to be replaced with this technology? It's a question that is running around in so many people's minds. Because if we see such a robot, because I believe that a robot, it has to be accurate, you see. And we have dentists that are graduating every year. Like the universities, they are offloading dentists in the field. You see, so it's something that we also need to take note of. What do you think? What do you think, as someone who is seeing who is in the programming sector as much as into medicine? Do you think that doctors somehow they are going to be replaced by this?
I actually get that question a lot of times. But then the thing is, we're not yet there.
We are not yet there.
We're not yet there.
So it means it can even pass our time.
Yeah.
For us to be like for the AI or the robots to do all of the things.
AI does a lot of things, but there are some things which it cannot practically do in terms of showcasing its human side.
It doesn't have emotion. That kind of a connection. Because I believe as a doctor, you should have that kind, not only the medical aspect with the patient, you also need that emotional touch. Emotional touch, that psychological touch. And AI doesn't have that.
Yeah, so just being a human gives you a big advantage. So you can't really, of course, in terms of just not, computers can only do what you tell them to do.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So just to elaborate on that means they always listen to your instructions. So in other words, I'm trying to say they only work in your steps, in the steps you have programmed them or set them out to do.
Okay.
We call them algorithms.
Algorithms. Oh, okay. Algorithms. All right.
So this is how basically technology functions. You have to instruct it.
Okay.
Is you being the creator. So on other faculties of emotions and all that, I wouldn't say we are there yet, because with technology you don't have the kind of the human touch of what we call art per se. Art. Okay. The creative ability.
All right.
It's not yet they manifest. So right now we are still far away from getting to a point in time whereby people are going to be replaced, especially in the medical field. Concerning
we're still far.
But then for things which can be done manually, like right now I'm sure you've heard about the Amazon shops whereby there is no human inside. You just go in, you go with your card, you buy your stuff, you
Serious?
out.
Robots
checks out everything that you've done. So there's no human intervention there. You're just buying food. Right? So now the point which you have to always have in mind is the skill which I have easily replaceable by a computer? What I'm trying to say is,
I understand.
Can the computer formulate
what you're doing?
What I'm doing, per se.
Okay.
So if it can, that means near the future they're easily replaceable. Because people will use computers just to save money. Because especially in the industrial field. Especially in the industrial field, you have a lot of set-offs of many workers
because of those
these
robots that are getting into play.
Yeah, that's just because their skills at the moment in time.
Okay.
There is a point in time when
they were needed.
But now because they can easily be formulated.
All right.
Easily replicated in steps.
Okay.
So you can use machines for that. And machines don't get tired.
They
just don't get tired.
24/7 on the way. 24/7 on the way. All right. So I want us to touch the aspect of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I believe if we had to look into this term, it is defined in so many ways depending on what value you are giving people. Someone can get into agriculture entrepreneurship. You're giving a value in that aspect. But you yourself, you have chosen that I'm going to give my value in entrepreneurship as a programmer, as someone who's going to make software, websites, and so forth, all those things. So, in the entrepreneurship sector, right? How do you see, or how can I say, like your business, where you are in right now, that programming skill, drawing a picture like on the entrepreneurship board? You see, because when you're talking about entrepreneurship, we are talking about giving value to people as well as people appreciating that value and paying you for it.
Yeah,
basically that's how I define entrepreneurship. So looking at programming, and then we add the entrepreneurship. So I just want you to add to help us to understand what is the business part of programming. What is the marketing part of programming? Yeah.
So on the entrepreneurship scale of things, the way I see it, it's always gonna revolve around socio-economic problems. Yeah.
All right.
So just there being problems, that means there are opportunities.
Very much.
And people experience daily setbacks because of these problems and the things which come with having those problems.
Yeah.
Right. So you can easily now differentiate into many aspects of, okay, you single out a problem.
Yeah.
So what resonates around that problem in which I could add value. Right?
Okay.
So
okay.
The thing is, people are always gonna pay you for things that they don't know. That's how life works.
People, they're gonna pay you according to things that they don't know.
Yeah.
You have to take note of that one. Okay.
So in the expense of that is, if you're always looking for money, it's better to just set out on things which are not expensive or well known by the general public.
Okay.
The idea is, if I know how to fix a laptop and you don't know how to, and your laptop dies, that's your problem, right? And you come to me, that means there's an exchange of value which is happening. That's where the payment is. That's where the money is. Because you don't have the knowledge on how to fix it yourself.
The knowledge.
You have to use another person. You have to use a third party person.
Okay.
So the way in terms I would resonate it with the programming sector is, like I mentioned before, we are in a digital evolution. Everything is becoming digital.
Yeah.
Academic, business side of it, agriculture, as we mentioned. So with programming, you become relevant, especially in a country like Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Because right now, everything that they are doing, in most sectors that I know, they kind of use technology, but it's kind of outdated.
Outdated, very much. Yeah.
It wouldn't be amiss for you to realize that you have slowness of procedures or processes.
Yeah, okay.
So in Zimbabwe, it's like things take time.
Things take time. Things take time. They delay.
So this just means that we don't have the right technology
to quicken things.
Because in advance, you are comparing a country like USA. Maybe in fact, it doesn't just resonate around Zimbabwe. It's in most African countries. It's just way back. So you're comparing Africa as a whole, according to maybe Europe or the United States of America, North America per se. To our standards and their standards, you see that we are far way off.
Very much. We are still far.
So this is a problem which lags in Africa as a whole, right? Especially in the technological sector.
Right.
And day by day, as we try to advance, we are easy adopters of what they give us.
Very much.
So it's like they develop something, they give it to you, and because you don't have the expertise to make it yourself, there is no inbuilt softwares in Zimbabwe that are being distributed within Zimbabwe or within Africa. You're always going to be relying on them. So now there comes the mindset whereby, okay, if I get this particular software in running in my country or running in my business, you're going to get to a comfortable point whereby, okay, I have the software, so that means I don't need to innovate, I don't need to upgrade. So time moves by. Other people around you actually upgrading. But that means you're easily gonna feel the difference between being there and being here. Right now, if you go to the USA, you're gonna feel a difference when you're coming back, especially in the airport. Just being in the Zimbabwean airport and being in the USA airport, there's a huge difference.
A huge one.
So those are just problems, and this is just in the technical side of it. But especially, like I mentioned, in the socio-economic side of it, it's not just about technology, but in other sectors like agriculture. You can talk about roadworks, buildings, etc. There's a lot of lagging and a lot of what can I say, ignorance. So these are just problems which continually build up. They stack up until comes a point whereby the economy is no longer functioning as well as we think, and it usually affects the people around it. Very now that's the problem. That's the problem. So now, if you don't have the expertise or knowledge on what to do, you always live in that suffering. You always be diminished in a situation where you could have been
and blame people. And you know what? One of the problems that I discovered in our economy, people, they become lazy.
Exactly.
In a way that they are putting the blame on let me say the government or the economy. You just say the economy is bad, and that itself psychologically it programs your mind to become lazy. You no longer think as you are supposed to think, because you'll be like throwing away the problem, you see. But I think unless you have that kind of a mentality, you know the problem is not about the economy. The problem is on the ground, and I have to solve it. I don't have to wait for someone to solve it. I don't have to wait for the third patient. But if I myself, I have to solve the problem. I remember who said that money always follows a problem.
Exactly.
Wherever there is a problem, you give a solution. When you give a solution, man comes.
Exactly.
So, which makes us here in Zimbabwe being rich in a way that there are so many problems.
Exactly.
But all we need is to have that exposure, like that kind of an exposure where our minds become so open, so that
clarity.
So that we be able to understand that no, the solution that we are looking outside, they are already in us.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've ever heard this? I was reading this book. It was talking about the external economy, the internal economy. And it was like saying that you have an internal economy. and there's an external economy. The internal economy affects the external economy. Not the external economy affecting the internal economy. So when you build the internal economy according to the information that you feed, according to the kind of a way that you want to think, the books that you read, the people that you're exposed to, when you build the internal economy, is going to create its own sort of like program itself that affects the external economy. That's when you find out, if you are to look at Zimbabwe, there are people that are rich.
Exactly.
People making money. They are millionaires here in Zimbabwe. And they are saying that they are not even going anywhere. They say, no, we are gonna be here. We are gonna be here.
It's not really an advantage for me to see Indians, Chinese coming into Zimbabwe.
They're coming to Zimbabwe.
They see the problem.
Yeah.
And it's just that we as Africans are not expansive on working for the opportunity. The thing is, we see problems and we tell ourselves that we have the solution. But at first hand, the solution will always require you to get out of a comfort zone.
Very much.
As always. And
you need to start.
You see that there is need for hard work and you're like, nah, I'm not going to sacrifice that.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy life and etc. But then the thing is, you kind of diminish yourself.
Yeah.
I like what Monroe said. Miles Monroe.
Yeah. I like that guy. I like that guy.
Some people wait to just see opportunity come through as a train. And if it doesn't land on them, they just wait for the other train. So they have no realization that opportunity is from within, right? So opportunity always revealed through you,
inside,
not to you.
Oh, through you.
So you have the capability to create,
very much,
your own world.
Yeah.
The way I look at humans is, if you look at the other animals, right? They are in an environment whereby they are orderly. They live in a kingdom where there's order.
Yeah.
And we as humans come into this kingdom whereby there's disorder.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I usually want to touch it on the Bible.
Okay.
Because in the Bible, especially in Genesis, we hear that God saw that the earth was without void and with chaos, and He spoke being into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we as humans come into this world with chaos. There's a chaotic environment. So there's always a need for you to recreate your own environment. So what happens is, now people see the results. The results of the economy. They see the results of the social economic standpoint view. They see the results of the academics, of their life in general. So when you start internalizing these results, they kind of become a part of you, such that the more you meditate on them or contemplate on them, you end up producing those same results. So you don't change.
You don't change. You're producing the same results.
Because you're not looking for things from within you, you're looking for things without you, from your external environment.
Okay.
So there's a need for you to examine yourself, align yourself to your own purpose. Right?
Your own purpose.
Personally, for me, I think I told myself a long time ago, I'm not going to live a life of taking. Right? I came here without having anything when I was born. And I'll go without anything. So what would be the essential thing? To take or to give? To give as always. So personally, just from a scriptural standpoint view, I want to pursue a life which is always sufficiently abundant in serving. So I always look to serve in everything that I do. Especially in my work, in my academics. I know I'm not doing for myself, I'm doing for others. People don't do this, but when you're reading, are you only reading for yourself or are you reading for others?
No, you're reading for others.
People aren't conscious about this.
You cannot realize that one. It's very hard to realize this.
People are not conscious about the fact that I'm not just reading for myself, I'm reading for others.
So everything that I'm doing, it affects the next person.
It affects, but you just don't aware to it.
Okay.
So when you read, you consciously say, I'm waiting for my results. But I think there's always gonna be a side of an advantage to a person who's always having this conscious awareness that when I'm reading, I'm also ready for the next person.
Okay.
In the instance that they come and ask me a question, I have the answer.
You have the answer.
You see? So that's the correlation between how I see life.
Okay.
So especially in my job, I know if I'm making out projects, I'm doing projects which are beneficial to the next person, which are beneficial to the society, which are beneficial to the public sector, not just to me in terms of making money, but what value am I giving out there? What change am I making to another person's life?
I think that's very important. That's very important. Because most of the people, when they see success, they see money. And they remove the element of value. That's what most people do. So they end up seeking money. And when you seek money, because I believe money is so spiritual.
Yeah.
And when you run over money, you won't catch it. And that's what many people are doing. Instead of running over money, I think the best thing that one should do is to create a value.
Exactly.
Create a value. You see, I always look at this phenomenon of, if let's say we take a tree here.
Exactly.
This is a mango tree. A tree does not tell itself, it does not have the ability to move from one place to the other. Even if it wants to go to a person, it can't. It's in nature, it can't. So what does it do? It says, what can I do to work on myself so that I can bring people, so that people will be attracted to me? That's the same thing about money. So you find that the trees, for example, a mango tree, say, okay, guys, branches, leaves, let's create a fruit, but not just a fruit, a high quality fruit that is appetizing to the eye. So that if a human sees the fruit, he's going to be attracted. So the tree, it works on itself. It doesn't chase. It works on itself and say, this is what I'm going to create. Once you create that fruit, it creates that fruit, you see that people start to come. So I think this is the other problem about our generation, that many people, they are chasing for money. And the disadvantage of chasing for money is that you end up working hard, not smart. And the richest people in the world, they don't work hard.
They don't even work.
They don't even work.
They don't work. That's the next analogy you get. If you notice, the richest people, what they do is they let money work for it.
Oh, okay. The rich, the important thing.
I've noticed something. Which is crazy. What the rich do is they value their time.
Value their time.
So, in particular, to just valuing their time, they would rather give away money just to keep their time.
It's very important.
So, the idea that I'm trying to point out is, if I know you can do something and I have the money, right, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to learn how to do it.
I'm just paying.
I'm just paying you to do it,
and then you do it.
And I have my time, so that means I can go to Bahamas, I can go to Fiji if I want to.
Oh, okay.
Because I have time.
So time is very important.
So the analogy of money exactly is the way you point it out. You put it out. You can repel money, you can attract money, and money, as you said, it will always be attracted to the value. If you aren't able to be relevant in the economy that you are, or in the social setting that you are, no one is going to come to you for anything.
Very much.
If you don't know anything, you have no value.
You have no value.
And that's the emphasis on life. I won't lie, if you're not, you say in the Bible, it says, my people perish for their lack of knowledge, right?
Lack of knowledge, right?
And the encompassing of knowledge is that it comes with value. You say you will never fail in life in a place you are well aware of. In a place where you have understanding, you will never stagger or fall. So that's kind of the idea around pursuing for knowledge. So some people are now kind of motivated, or they wake up seeking for money, which is always a wrong fallacy in terms of the interest or the fortune you make out of it. So the point here I'm trying to put out is, if you're gonna pursue for something, rather pursue knowledge. Because the pursuit of knowledge is a pursuit of meaning. Because as much as you are learning about something, you also learn about yourself, you also learn about others. So just having this information at hand gives you an edge over your fellow colleagues or your fellow even in your family. It gives you an age. It gives you a statue on which to stand on, because you have the basis for understanding how life works. And how to react to it. Right?
Amazing.
So there's a need for you to pursue knowledge before you pursue money. I will never put money at first, and especially if I tell myself I want to serve, I'm not serving for money. I'm serving to change someone's life.
Right?
Money comes in as just a side effect. Right? Because someone will say, I can just let Sean, even if I say I'm gonna do a job right now. Right? I know I need money for other things because that's how the economic works. But even if I'm not to charge anything, someone will always feel the gratitude to pay you. Because I noticed there's a story which my father once told me that at some point in time he was told Kunzi to work in a tuck shop.
You work in the tuck shop?
Work in a tuck shop. I think somebody was just like, are you free? Can you just
work in the tuck shop
for just a day or so? But what my father did that time is he didn't charge money. He was like, I think he was asked how much money would you want, and he never said I wanted money.
So he was just working. Just working. How many hours?
The thing is, you have been given an opportunity. Opportunities don't come by. What I mean to say is opportunities can come direct to you. So there's always a problem whereby people want to wait.
They want to wait.
In fact, it comes to a point whereby it's a tragedy for many people, whereby they take waiting as a spiritual virtue and they call it faith.
You have to repeat that one.
They take waiting as a spiritual virtue and call it faith.
Okay.
So they don't understand the difference between patience and waiting.
They're different.
They're different.
They're
very, very much different.
Okay.
Because when you're waiting, you're stagnant.
You are not moving. You say, okay.
When you are patient, you are preparing. So there's an activeness in it involved. You're preparing. So that means you're constantly doing something. I'll tell you something about this. I'll just give you an analogy. If you want to seek out a promotion, maybe in a job that you are in or a career per se, you don't wait for a promotion to come. In fact, you invest in yourself. That means to say you work hard on yourself. So you start learning things. If maybe per se you had a bachelor's degree at that moment in time, you now pursue a master's degree. During the time you're still saving, no?
Preparing.
You're preparing.
Okay.
You don't know when the promotion is coming, but you are preparing yourself. You are equipping yourself. That when the opportunity comes, or when it doesn't come, you have something. You are always advantageous around someone who doesn't. So if the two of us go in a job or a career, right, and you steadily wait for a promotion to come along, maybe you have a good being with the boss or per se, and I choose to invest in a degree per se just to engage myself on a higher level. When the promotion comes, you might see that the promotion might want you to have a master's degree, just for you to qualify for it. But because you were waiting for that promotion, and I was without doing anything, I was able to qualify for that promotion. So people, I say this a lot of times, and I think it's kind of like a mindset. Especially in people who easily graduate off school. And personally, I'm in school right now. I have these are the areas of things that I'm focusing on. But I'm in school.
You are in school.
I'm in school. I don't even have a degree. But I have some other focuses on
that I'm doing. That I'm doing.
Right? Am I waiting for an opportunity? No.
You are preparing.
I'm preparing myself. At the same time, I'm creating opportunities for myself. If someone comes along and says, guys, we are looking for a programmer, especially in the medical field. I'm easily available. I know the skills. I know my subsets. So I'm easily going to be advantageous over someone who was in medical school who wasn't doing anything.
Amazing.
So you don't wait for things. You don't wait.
You have to do something.
People wait faith, but what faith does, faith causes things to happen. It causes things to happen. It doesn't wait for things to happen.
It causes things
to happen. It doesn't wait for things to happen. That's faith. You see, it says faith is the substance for things hoped for.
Yeah.
And evidence for things not seen. Substance. Something tangible.
Amazing.
Something you can feel, something you can touch. It's a substance.
Yeah.
That means within yourself, there's something which is tangible. What is tangible on you? You're just in school, you're focusing on other areas. You might be in your job, but you're not focusing on other areas. What do you have on you which is tangible besides your job? What do you have on you which is tangible besides your school, your academics? So I don't, personally for me, I believe in value hierarchies. Value hierarchy. So a value hierarchy is, everyone has value hierarchies, but people aren't just aware of these things. Like a value hierarchy is based on the premises of what you value the most. So what you value the most, you put it at the top. So if you value something, if you put top priority on it, that means you're gonna have a sense of agency to do it, right? So that means you easily value that over the other thing. So if I was to give you an option between A and B, if A was at the top of your value hierarchy, you'd easily choose to value in A rather than B. Right? So a value hierarchy gives you the premise for action. Without value hierarchies, we don't have premises for action. We don't have the basis for acting. Right? Because there's nothing to do without a value hierarchy. But people have value hierarchies. But the thing is, people aren't just aware of what their value hierarchy is.
They are not aware.
So you becoming aware of what your value hierarchy is gives you a more sense of awareness over the things that you have to do. Right? You can easily prioritize what is important and what is not important.
Yeah, but I discovered if you are to take look at your day, a day is 24 hours.
Exactly.
And you're going to look at your day. You're going to discover that about 98% of people, youth now, they've done nothing that has the ability to build their value. So, like, what am I saying? I'm saying that over the day, just a day, looking at a day, people, they end up doing other things that does not give value to maybe their skill, or maybe to what they want to do. Is what I'm talking about in life. So it's very important for one to have that hunger, for knowledge, for the transformation of the mind.
Exactly.
Because the mind is so powerful. It's one of the powerful tools. If we are to look at the tools that are powerful that mankind was given, it's mind. If you remove the mind from a man, you no longer be a man.
You be an animal.
You become an animal. Yeah.
Because with the mind, with these faculties, especially in the conscious sense of it, you've been given the power to create.
The power.
Imagine that there were people at some point in time. There are some people at some point in time who lived in darkness, and I mean literal darkness.
Yeah.
And there was a man behind the scene creating a light bulb.
Yeah. That was Thomas Edison. Yeah.
Creating a light bulb. These light bulbs that we have.
Yeah. Someone was creating a light bulb while others were living in darkness. Yeah. And they were so comfortable in that darkness.
So comfortable.
Yeah. So comfortable. I think somehow, comfortability, it hinders progress.
Comfort will always kill yourself. What comfort does is it traps you in this peculiar cage, which is gorgeously designed with gold.
Fair gold.
Gold. You live in this comfortable area whereby there's gold all over you. There's nice things. So you become blinded.
You can't see. You can't see
that you're in a cage.
Yeah.
You can't see that you're in a cage. Of which, what I note is, you can never grow if you're in a comfort zone. You can never change.
Yeah, that's what most of the motivators speak of. That nothing grows in the comfort zone.
Nothing grows. You have to kind of get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the comfort zone is a nice place, but it shouldn't be your pursuit per se.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pursuit of money for most people is just to get to that place where they think they are stable.
Yeah, but you can never reach that point.
That's why they term,
unless you're dead.
they can never term the fact that money doesn't bring happiness. And it's true. It's true. And people that don't have that realization. And I've noticed you can never have that realization without having money. Mm-hmm. You always see as if with money you always enjoy life. Mm-hmm. But listen, this is just a financial aspect of your life. But you have all other aspects of your emotions,
the facets of your life,
your social viewpoint. So just focusing on money as a whole is pointless.
Yeah.
You can never get it if that's your focus.
Yeah.
You can never get it.
Yeah. I had this guy was say that, you know, money is just an amplifier. Mm-hmm. It's just a booster. Like I'm not too much into technology, but I believe that if you were to look at the aspect of a booster, mm-hmm. when a signal comes weak, mm-hmm. gets into the booster, it is amplified.
Exactly.
So it doesn't change the nature of the signal or the quality of the signal, or if the signal was coding for certain information, it doesn't change the information, but it amplifies the information.
Exactly.
So money itself, that's what it does. If you have money, if you were a bad person from the start, you get into the booster, it amplifies you and you become more bad. You see, if you're a corrupt person, when you get money, you become more corrupt. If you're a good person, you get into the booster, which is money per se, you become a good man, you become a philanthropist, you start to give people all those things. So money, I believe, like you were saying, that money, it is an amplifier. It should not be what we pursue. It should be like primarily what we should pursue. Because money, it amplifies what you already have.
Mm-hmm. And the other way that I see it is, money is always, it's just an extensive ability. Besides just being an amplifier, because I believe money does three things to you.
Three things. Okay.
Makes you transparent. That means I can easily perceive your character if you have money. I can see your personality. I can see your character. I can see who you truly are, because you said it makes you an amplifier.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Money also has an extensive ability. So if I have money right now, I'm capable of doing things which I can only do in Zimbabwe, but I can also do it in other countries, just because I have the ability.
You have the ability.
I have the extensive ability of money. And money as a whole it's the store of value.
Okay.
Right? It's the store of value.
Okay.
So with money, you become more extensive.
Yeah.
And that's just one use of money.
Yeah.
You become so extensive that the things you couldn't do now, if I give you money, you are able to do them.
You're now able to do them.
So money is something which should come along. But first you have to have an overall foundation of what you are doing.
What you're doing.
Right? So if you don't have that part, it's like if I give you money right now, you just spend it on probably useless things, right? Because you don't have the investment protocols of knowing what to do with the money. You can't look into other areas of life, or you can expand on what you're already doing.
Amazing.
So without that foundation, it's a core foundation which everyone needs.
Yeah.
And the core foundation is called purpose.
Very important.
You can live, like I said, for me personally, I think for me it was a commitment which I made some time ago, but I need to live with the purpose of serving. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be grateful if I lived a life in which I was serving. Right? And people now, it's such a broad it's such a broad term if you say serving, because people think you're a beggar per se, or you are under the floor. But one thing that people actually haven't realized is even if you're a leader, even if you're in a leadership role, you are a servant.
You are servant
by virtue. Right? A leadership role is a role of serving.
It's a serving.
It's a serving role. You serve the people around you. But people have taken the selfishness, desire, and greediness to think that they are the most important people in that position. So people don't really realize that even if you are to get a leadership role, you're in a role to serve.
Amazing.
And okay, I'll talk about it later.
Okay. No, that's amazing. That's amazing.
What I wanted to say, let me just say it.
All right.
At school, in my class, right, we have class reps. Right? Class reps were not particularly chosen. I don't think they were chosen, but they chose themselves per se to become the leaders, the representatives. But the way I see it personally, most people don't see it, but those guys are in a position whereby they're able to serve you guys.
Very much.
I find it so charging for me to spend even 24 hours a day. Maybe I'm busy with work or something, but I can have the information without being the class rep, without being the representative. But those people are able to spread out the information. Those people are serving you guys.
Amazing.
And even though they are the first to get recognized by lecturers or so, but they are able to transmit information to you in the comfort of your own thing, of your own place. So most people don't realize that this role of leadership, it doesn't mean that
you have to be the top.
You're the top person or etc. Right? But it's a place for serving.
It's a place for serving. That's very important. That's very important because as a leader, you need to. The best part of being a leader per se is not about giving answers. It's about organizing a team. You bring them together, and then you just form a conducive environment where each and every one of them are able to bring ideas.
They're able to integrate their own facets into the group for the collaborative effort.
Exactly. So in other ways that you'll be serving them. You are serving them to.
You're bringing the best out of them.
You are bringing the best out of them, which is that's the full form of serving.
And if you're a leader, the other thing I've noticed, I would like to take Jesus as an example. Jesus had disciples, right? But he wasn't internalizing them to be just followers.
No.
After he went, those people became leaders. So as a leader, it's in your own obligations to make other leaders.
Very much true.
So you're encompassing those people around you to become leaders. You don't what do you call it? You don't sabotage them or you don't suppress them. You build them. Edify them. So that's one of another obligations of just being a leader as a whole. Especially if you are leading a company or you are the top person in the company, maybe it's your own startup. But I think the main thing is if you could be able to bring out the best out of each individual. Even they are your subordinates or as such, but you should train them to become managers. You should train them to become leaders within the whole company. That's and that in part is serving. It's me giving my time at the end of the day. It's me giving my time.
You're giving your time very much. All right, so as we wrap up, there are burning questions that I still have. I believe if you are to hear such a man speaking of what he has gone through, most of the people, they look at the stage, but they forget the steps. You see? They look at the stage, they forget the steps. They just see the platform of a man on the stage. But there are a lot of things from that man to be on the stage. There are certain things that formed him. And we can never talk of success without talking of failure.
Exactly.
So I really want to know, because as you say that this company is 3 years ongoing, and Is something that you started so young? So let's say there's someone now, he has an idea. I want to start a company. You see? Or maybe some now, the idea of starting a company is so far-fetched because you look at it as something that is so sophisticated to do. Mm-hmm. So my question is that when this company, when it came to play, right? What are the failures that you faced? I know there is always criticism coming by. You're young, you see, and I know most of the things that suppresses this generation per se, especially in this area, in this our Zimbabwe, is that which is brought by the people that are already above.
Exactly.
You'll be saying, no, you're running too much. You see, how can you start a company when you're 19? Some will be like, you see what I'm talking about? So people will be like, so I know you have managed to receive all those criticism and, even from the family, how did your family helped you to become where the company is right now? Is it support and all those things, Yeah.
So let me just lay out this. I never started the company.
All right. Oh, you never started the company?
I never started the company.
Okay.
The company was started by one of my friends. I actually learned with them. During the time we started learning programming, He was in Form 2. I was in Form 1.
Oh, okay.
So he's the person who started the company.
He's the person who started the company.
In fact, he was the forefronter for introducing programming into the school. Because he was one of the teachers who was well versed in that area, and he was the one who came about to say, because maybe I didn't really know how he came to know about programming, but I know that he was the one who was part of the initiative to start programming. It just happened that I was one of the guys there, and I took a huge interest into it.
You took a huge interest. So like you became friends with the guy?
We were already friends back then, but
you're a friend because of programming, or
friends because of programming at that moment in time. But the thing is, I later on transferred from that school.
Okay.
At that moment in time when I transferred, I was like, yo, I'm not in a place in time whereby I don't have any mentor to teach me programming, but I managed to get a couple of teachers who were also well versed in these areas. Who kind of helped, because with programming is kind of the skill whereby you also need a guider, you also need a mentor to really show you where to what to learn and what to not learn.
Yeah.
Because you can easily move around in circles. So when we started the company, I wasn't around. We weren't talking at the moment in time.
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, we weren't talking. So what happened is, I think during my Form 6, when I was now finishing, I'd learned some skills in programming, of course. I was now at a point in time I was like, no, you know what, I need to take this practical. I had already gotten the sense of what programming is, what is the value that I can bring with this tool into the world. I had already had that encompassed in my mind. So now the point was, okay, how can I get into contact with other people or other programmers? There are many programmers in Zimbabwe, but I didn't know Zain had started the company per se, but I think we kind of communicated. But what I've always told myself is, I think the university, I'm saying the university, the universe as a way of like aligning, joining things with people in the same frequency. So I managed to get his contact. I got on to him, we met. I remember the first time we met after it had been like 4 years or so. 4 years, exactly 4 years.
4 years.
Since our last departure. He had already started the company at that moment in time. So I joined up with them. So sometimes it's not always a case of starting a company. It's not always a case of starting a company. Like I said, the major thing I would take off it is, how can you add value to other people's life?
That's the major thing.
Right? I think the notion of just starting a company comes with people just wanting to own something of their own. I'm not saying that's wrong per se. I would also want to own something of my own. But for me personally, the necessity was, okay, how can I add value? How can I put to use what I know? Right? So back then I also wanted to start my own company. I didn't. I haven't. Right? But me with Zane, I guess I just was able to just humble myself. Just say, you know what, I'll be under Zane. There's no problem with that. After all, this is our thing. The company, at that time I was like, when I joined, it's like, I think it's been like 2 years now.
2 years now.
Me in the company. So
amazing.
I think at that point in time I was like, no, you know what, I can have also my projects running under Aurora.
Alright.
So there wasn't really
a
for me to
start your own company.
Because if I can give value, whether be it through you or through, I'm still giving value. I'm still doing what I like. So it doesn't have to be my name on the 4-figure front.
Yeah.
But I know I'm involved. I know I'm in collaborative.
Amazing.
Because the thing is, if you look at Apple, the first person who comes to mind is Steve Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs, yeah.
But there are also other people like Steve Wozniak who were not even the founder, but they were part. Right.
That contributed to the formation.
If he wasn't there wasn't going to be anything. So now a company encompasses its whole individual labor.
Yeah.
To make products.
Yeah.
So if you can be easily involved in that, then there's no problem. I don't think there's any problem with joining with up with others, or collaborating up with others on certain things. I'm not saying this is a collaboration per se, but I work there in the CTO. We talk. Yeah. Exactly, and I'm heavily involved. Amen. So the other thing is, if you now want to start a company, right? It's a matter of what is your company bringing? What's the value?
We are back to the value thing.
It always comes back and revolves around value. Yeah. Because you can just say you want to start a company,
but without
the value. And value is kind of derived from the sense of demand and supply.
Yeah.
That's where value
demand, supply.
If there's no demand,
that value.
There's no value.
There's no value in that.
Yeah, so encompassing just the aspect of demand and supply, that's economic stress. Encompassing the aspect of demand and supply, if you don't have those forces in balance, you can't really get a full appreciation of what is there to gain for the person who's receiving. Right? So there has to be that aspect of, is this thing which I'm supplying needed? Yeah. Or it's not needed. So at the end of the day,
you can't just supply for the sake of supplying.
Yeah. So there's a need to revolve around these thoughts. Yeah. And really look. There are many factors to take in part. Especially, I think this is the major thing. Yeah. Because usually, if you can find problems, that's where the business is. That's where the company can go out of. So the major thing is finding these problems. Yeah. And I'm lucky that I'm in Zimbabwe, and there are many problems around. There are many problems. I'm not taking into criticism this, but I see a lot of people who want to venture out of other countries.
Like they want to go out.
Yeah, but
yeah. Very much.
It's like a lot of people. You're living the opportunities.
Yeah, you're going to the developed.
I'm not going to talk much about that one, but it's for another day.
All right.
So people have this kind of mindset of just living problems is there and running away from problems. Just to be in a comfortable spot whereby there are less problems there. But also there are problems there, but it's just the realization of, okay, if I am in this environment, can I change? There was a quote which was quoted, you don't go to green pastures. Yeah. You water the area which is around you
to make it green. Amazing.
So
you have to make that green land around you. Yeah, you don't have to seek.
Don't have to seek for.
You have to make it.
You have to make it. So it's kind of a mindset which many people do have, especially in this modern generation. They want to seek comfortability, but for me personally, I feel like there is shame in just having that pursuit in your mind. It's not a life which is fulfilling or meaningful. Yeah. So the meaningful. Anything that you do should be derived from value. Value is the big thing. Yeah. It's a big important part of our lives. Everything. Especially like I did mention with value hierarchies. Yeah. Most people are unconscious about what they value. But there are things that they value. Yeah. It's just in the strain of they don't notice it or they just do it out of habit. right?
Habit, yeah.
After 21 days, you become internalized to it. So it's like, I have to do this, but you really haven't dipped into it if this thing which I'm doing is valuable.
Yeah.
So
because there's this phrase that says, be, do, have. Be the being you need to become.
You need to become, yeah, exactly.
Before you do and have. So most of the people, they want to do
and have,
and then they want to have, but they forget about the being. They forget about the being. Yeah. So I believe that that's also very, very important. That's also very important.
Exactly.
Right. So Mr. OT, it's OT what? CTO. I'm gonna get it. CTO. Yes. CTO. So CTO, what are your last words that you can give to the audience, per se, to people that are in Zimbabwe? Let's say to people that are in Zimbabwe, people are in Africa as a whole, that want to start something. They want to start something. They want to do something, and they are looking at the environment. They are not as much as exposed to what they want to do, but they just feel that they want to start something. So what are the last words that you can give, that you can share to such people right now, so that they will be transformed?
It's not difficult. It's just committing and having discipline. Sometimes it's not the issue of where you are per se, or the struggles that you are facing around you, but sometimes it's just you having the mindset to be able to change your area, your surrounding. So for me personally, what I would advise people is, if you have something that you want to pursue or commit in, it's best by you that you change your value hierarchy.
Change your value hierarchy. Change your value hierarchy.
If you can change your value hierarchy to things which are purposeful, not only in your life but in other people's life. You always live a life with meaning. You cannot have much money. You might not have much money, but you always find happiness within that living style. So the idea of changing your value hierarchy is, if you were in a place whereby it was restraining you or it was confronting you, this can be derived in many factors. You can talk about friends, especially with friends, with just the general condition or environment that you are in. You can be in a toxic environment. It doesn't allow for growth, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be feeling grief if you do against what other people are doing. So there's a need to change your friends. There's a need to change the information that you register in your mind. There's a need to look into other areas which help, right? Which help other people, especially in their beneficial standpoint of view. So I would say to other people and to most people to change their value hierarchy. Change the people who you talk to. Change the people who you speak to. Speak to people with value.
Speak to people with value.
Speak to people with value. Read materials which are valuable.
Don't just spend time. I hope you are listening. Don't just spend time on social media going for things that does not add value.
Because it doesn't really shock me that the poorest people in the world are those people who pursue after entertainment purposes and not seeking for knowledge. Doesn't really shock me that that's the case for most people. I think there's a need for you to change, to really commit, to really be disciplined in this area or point of, okay, I'm gonna start doing this, and these are the things that I have to change. If you're doing bad things or you're misbehaving in some way, there's a need for you to accept what there is and bring into being what you want to be. And you start with yourself. You don't start with the environment, you start with yourself. Amazing. And I've noticed that for me personally in my life, the more time I focus on myself, I start to see my environment changing. Especially the information that I receive now. I don't just receive any information. Especially there's a cultural belief of, I won't mention it, but then there are cultural beliefs that stuck at UZ, but with the people that I associate with, I don't hear those things. I don't even get to notice them. Just because I have conditioned my surrounding to just be around what I want to receive, what is purposeful for my life, what is beneficial. So I try as much as I can to change myself, to put myself in order, so that even if I'm exhibiting my aura around other people, they feel a benefit to being around me. So I become an influencer in some way. So I think that's the nature that I've kind of taken upon, and it's not really hard for me sometimes because of just how I have arranged my value hierarchy.
Your value hierarchy.
So I really emphasize that people become aware of what their value hierarchy is. And if there's a need to change, remember you can always change your value hierarchy. And you can only do this by committing and having discipline.
Committing, having discipline.
Sometimes it's not an issue of balancing or integrating, but commitment is a strong thing. I think that what would be burning my soul to let others know in terms of this aspect.
Amazing. Wow, this was an amazing segment here on Grow Money, Grow Business with the tech guru, Sean. We managed to dive into different aspects of life, entrepreneurship, leadership, value hierarchy, and it was an amazing segment that we had. So we are going to have a lot of episodes coming by every week. Every Friday they will be coming by. So you must subscribe and you must like, and don't forget to share this video. Thank you so much. See you next time.